Hi everybody, it's Kelly, and thanks for joining in today, and thanks for the new subscribers. And it's important to like the channel, so I appreciate that. Today I think I'm going to be I'd love to talk a little bit about harmonic codes a little bit further, and what they are, particularly as I'm getting ready to launch a line of StarCode accessories, which we already are, just starting to roll out, and some information will be down below also in the description if you are interested. So I thought I would do a few videos here describing more about what harmonic codes are, and how you can work with them. So today I thought I'd do a brief presentation about harmonic codes to connect with the fairy realm. But before I get into that, let me just explain that there are harmonic codes. If you're not familiar with me, there'll be more information again down below. But I am a channel. I'm here for the Ascension to Anchor the Christ Grid. I'm the founder of many multiple 5th to 12th dimensional healing systems and books and lead retreats and so on. But the harmonic codes came into realization to me through Archangel Michael, a primary guide. And so harmonics and harmonic codes basically are a way to heal. They're a form of light language without having to hear the language or speak the language. And that's why they can be so useful in our lives. At least that's our hope and desire. Is you know, I'm just a messenger. So it's our hope and desire that people will become more familiar with them in the time we live in. Certainly more things and energies and frequencies are appropriate for the time we're living in. And so harmonic codes were introduced in Ascended Spaces many years ago to me, and I'll do another YouTube video on it. It's the angels' answer to feng shui. And harmonic codes were introduced to me in Mount Shasta, and how to connect with Jupiter and Saturn and the great central sun and God mind. They were reintroduced to me again also in Archangel Michael's Book of Animals, which is behind me there, and how we can work with them, the codes, to help the animals and the animal planet and Mother Earth, and connect with angels and guides. More recently, I downloaded more information about these codes, highly charged codes, light language codes, to help heal, if not completely heal, a variety of spiritual, emotional, and physical conditions. In some cases, multiple codes might be necessary. I'll probably talk about that in another subsequent video, as well as the products, and a little bit more as an update about star healing intergalactic energies. So there's some older, if you're subscribed to my channel and you click the bell, you can also go back and look at some of the older informational pieces about what star healing intergalactic energy is. But codes can be numbers, shapes, symbols, colors. Let me just give you a quick example, and then I'd like to read from this channeled material from Archangel Michael. I don't remember, I'm not a trance channel, but I certainly don't remember, whoops, lost myself. You know, all my information over the years. There's so much, and I hope more and more of you will come to discover it. That'll give us great joy to try to help as many people and animals as we can. So an example of a code, if they're not an arrangement of things, they can be numbers, letters, symbols. And they can certainly be more complex than that. But the reason one of the reasons I very much love working with Michael, Archangel Michael, is because he's I think he's very down to earth. He puts things in practical form for us. Again, he's not my only guide. I hope to do some more subsequent teachings, channeling the Council of Nine or Yeshua or Mother Earth, and all these wondrous guides that have been filling my life. I'm also a medium, so perhaps we'll do some of those kinds of teachings and sharings in the future. So I'd like to, kind of dig right into this harmonic codes to connect with the fairies, at least part of this information, to see if it resonates with you, and encourage you to use, if you feel like you want to be of service in your, and most of us, do want to feel, I think, in this time that we're living, whether you're a light worker or not. So I'm going to refer to my previous channeling about harmonic codes to connect with fairies, to get everybody set up in what I hope will be a series of teachings about what harmonic codes are. And I have to hurry, my battery's low. So if I can get right to it, Michael says, first of all, fairies serve a huge purpose in our world, not only now during this time of ascension, but since the earliest times of our planet's birth. The fairy realm is responsible for keeping the magnetic field which is closest to Mother Earth attached to her. What does this mean? It means that without the support of the fairies and elementals, there would be gaping holes in the energy fields closest to your mother. And without going to a place of fear, suffice it to say that this would never be a good and wise thing. If you begin to think of the importance of the fairies and elementals as supporting the foundation of Earth, then you will come to realize their importance. Many in your world do already realize the importance of fairies and elementals, and Michael also says many do not. Those that do not toss trash upon the ground for the worker fairies to pick up and transmute energetically. Those that do not violate other rules of harmony, peace, and tranquility. The fairy realm is largely responsible for anchoring the frequency of tranquility to the plant kingdom. Without tranquility in the plant kingdom, there would be no tranquility of the animal kingdom. And without tranquility within the animal kingdom, varying degrees there, work to be done, there would be no tranquility within the human population. So, in speaking about a healthy fairy population, one may question me, Michael's saying. Excuse me for turning over to read here. What do fairies look like? They come in all shapes and sizes, relatively speaking, and they have different codes that correspond to their size or their function. Some fairies have more defined purpose than the ones shared. Some fairies are teeny tiny, almost invisible to those of us with sight. By comparison, the largest fairy Archangel Michael says he's ever witnessed was taller than our Empire State Building. Of course, the fairy realm have light bodies, and light bodies can diminish, and light bodies can magnify. So, what I'd like to do, as I say, getting to this teaching, fairies exist in other realms, was a question I asked. Yes, they most certainly do. There are many other billions upon billions of galaxies in our solar systems and in other systems, and most galaxies have a fairy realm, or their version of the fairy realm as it is on Earth. To restate briefly, harmonic codes allow you as a multidimensional person to reach higher, deeper, and help the frequencies of Christ consciousness rise and rise higher and anchor the ascension energies to Earth. So what I'd like to do then is kind of skip ahead to some of the codes that I mentioned. And so here is what I've heard. What are the harmonic codes we can use to strengthen the fairies? And Archangel Michael said, the following codes will be useful in connecting with fairies on Earth by grouping of size. To connect with the small to invisible fairies, including some gnomes, it's very simple. 8, 9, 10. Next, the harmonic to connect with medium-sized fairies of all descriptions are the numbers 10, 15, 35. Next, the harmonic code to connect the larger-sized fairies, including some associated with some of our myths, Michael's saying, including the little giants. The harmonic code would be a series of numbers, and they are 99, 88, these are double digits, 77, 66, and 55. There are also codes that a soul can use to call upon a specific region of fairies. For example, the collective fairy population that rule over trees in London might be a bit different than the harmonic code used to connect with the collective of fairies in Amsterdam or Munich, or Los Angeles or Lima. It's not an overwhelming task, however, for those of you who wish to be students in codes. You do not have to memorize every code for every city or region. You may use these codes to help sustain the sizes of the fairies, regions on your planet, other galaxies, land masses, broad categories by the work that they do to support us. There's universal codes to collectively help the plant life, thus supporting the fairies, grasses, shrubs, flowers, trees, and prairies, all other plants. So Michael suggests that we finish this brief lesson by sharing some of the harmonic codes, by citing some regions which, when used, can sustain the magical fairies who do need and ask for human support more now than ever. So he's suggesting that the list I'm going to share with you is by no means in the entire list, of course. But the primary code the Archangel is suggesting would be, and these are all 3-digit numbers, and then I'd like to tell you how to use these codes, okay, because that's probably already entered your mind. 111 and then a space. So you can write them down. Let me just move to that right now. You can write the codes down on paper if you like. You can visualize them in your mind, as many people do, have already done. I've done these type of teachings in other places. Or you can write them, you know, in your mind or with your finger if you're directed in that fashion. The primary code for the last lesson would be, let me go back to that, 111, then a space in your mind or on paper, another set, 111, space, 111, space, 222. Okay, in no particular order. Regions that need harmonic coding at this time are Guatemala, Croatia, Germany, Colombia, India, Switzerland. How will I know if I'm connecting with the fairy? Many of you will find that after using any of these codes in moderation, because these codes carry energy, that your own awareness, focus, and intent upon this most magical realm will grow with inner knowing, and in many other ways. Some of you will see the fairies, begin to feel them, or at least imagine them. There is no region on your earth where they do not exist, even if in some places their numbers may be small. So I asked Michael for some final words. He suggested, live in peace with your plant kingdom. Live in peace within yourselves. The next time you may lean down to pick up a wild flower, if you must, attend to it first with the healing energetic code so that more fairies can restore its absence. Michael suggests, do you wish to destroy your plant kingdom or you wish to restore it? So, again, some of you are going to be very sensitive to energy, and so some of the codes I shared with you, you're going to want to use or spread out. You'll feel them. They're very sensitive. If you're sensitive, you definitely will. You might see them. You might have those open channels. It's not important that you see or feel them. That's why we suggest that people be moderate with the use of the code. So if you're going to use a code like this to connect with the fairies, maybe one code a day or one code a few days, and see, you know, if you might be releasing yourself, but again, there's no rush to say or master or write all the codes on one day. Intend where they're to go. Help your guides place somewhere there to go. And I'd like to continue, you know, the teachings about the harmonic codes, because there's a lot to be shared with everybody, and I hope you enjoy it. And wishing you a great, blessed rest of the day. Thanks again. Bye-bye now.